EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us roughly midway between Boston and Providence. Everybody knows it as Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Chargers and the New England Patriots. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. Fields this way up at the 17. A lane opens here. He's past the 30.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 42-yard line.
From the gun, here's Newton. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
On 1st down, it's Newton. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England 1st down. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. From the gun, they run with Michel. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Gun.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Newton. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. Now a 1st down throw for Newton. Caught by Nelson left side. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That'll be a New England 1st down, a gain of 12. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline, thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
14-yard line, 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. The 2nd down play, not much better than the 1st, just a gain of 1 there.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long.
Come get some. Come on, come get some. Great. 49.
Here's Newton. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
24-yard attempt.
And the 13-year man puts it through. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
At their own 25-yard line.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Back to throw here, Herbert. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and a Patriot touchdown.
For the extra point.
So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it. But you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off at the 28, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Patriot defense has a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Folk connects on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
Number 47.
That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
First down, Chargers.
So big pickup that time. And Charles, defending AFC Player of the Week, maybe bucking towards another award this week.
Yeah, and they say they don't really care about the individual awards. You and I both know
they do.
It means a lot to them. It means respect around the league. And if he's able to show those kind of hands all game long, he can win a second one.
That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
12-yard line.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5.
Again, the ball.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
17-0 our score after 1.
The score, Patriots 17, Chargers nothing.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run this one in, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit.
He is good.
Extra point by Badgley up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. They'll get this out wide. It's Nelson with it. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Newton on 3rd down. To Michelle on the screen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
27.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Brings up.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. Extra point up and good by Folk. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
26-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Taken down.
When you enter the game as the AFC Player of the Week award winner, you expect runs like that and then some.
It was fun to watch him in the opener last week in Week 1. He was spectacular and open for more here in Week 2.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. They're going to try and throw. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Patriots take over, and they're going to have terrific field position. Here to his running back. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On the ground, Michelle, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
The ball carrier.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
Great.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. Throw caught here by Bird. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
First down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. And again this time to the tailback. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Uchenna Nwosu on the tackle. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Now Michelle. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. From a yard out. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The Charger drive about to get going. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Herbert setting up to throw on first down. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Herbert on first down now. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. The intended receiver there, Allen, but it's going to be second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. To throw again, Herbert. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Intended for Mike Williams. Incomplete. It's 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions. Have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again, Herbert. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Chargers going to get the football first here in this second half, and they trail as we get back underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start the 3rd quarter here on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory.
He's across midfield.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first.
Down at the 48.
2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
First down, Los Angeles.
Let's go. 60 Eagles. 60 Eagles. Second turn, defense. Second turn, defense.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And that is incomplete.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
He'll get this into the hands of Bird. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
8 yards on
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A big play there. 85 yards. And the Patriots are pouring it on.
the kick in.
This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done. It's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
The Charger drive about to get going. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Lawrence Guy, his 2nd sack of the night. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He was trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
3rd and long, it's Herbert. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They snap it to Herbert. And Allen's got it. And oh, Oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit. His kick is good.
Makes the score.
I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Now a handoff as they run left side.
Number 25
yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
43-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Loss brings up 3rd and 7.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. On the ground, this is Michelle. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10. At their
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 1st and 10, Herbert. That's complete to his speedy wideout Goodwin. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit. There you go, Charles. His 1st touchdown pass of the new season.
And he had a strong rookie year. So much more expected of him this one, as you might imagine. He threw that one with confidence and assuredness.
And I noticed that the celebration a little bit more subdued than his 1st touchdown pass last year as a rookie.
Yeah, he certainly is acting like he's done it before.
They'll try and run it here. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead a little bit further.
38.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Badgley now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a 3-possession game and all but put things to bed. They begin with Michelle on the ground. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And that one completes a Keene, the tight end. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36.
That's good.
1st target, 1st catch, and a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. looking right. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
4 brings up 3rd and 1.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Play action. It's Herbert. And right side, Henry's got it. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. There he goes right side. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown.
Touchdown.
Marquise Goodwin, 88 yards. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit.
The Chargers.
A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Chargers 28.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Here's Newton. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
So now after the sack, Cam of the Patriots going to look up at a 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Newton. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
For the Patriots.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Herbert able to show his wheels as he gets the first. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
That catch good for only a couple. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Herbert. Wide open. It's Allen, complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on first down. Now it's Herbert. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. From 13 yards out. And the Chargers have made this a one-score game. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is secured by the Patriots. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them.
Ready?
Tonight's final
So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And it was a game where they got out to a pretty good size lead, and then they had to hang on for dear life at the end.
Not exactly how you would draw it up. You would continue to score and find ways to keep your lead pretty well throughout the game. But they did find a way to win, as you noted. Hung on at the end as the big rush came at them. Fortunately enough, they put enough points on the board to have enough of a cushion that they're able to survive what happened in the fourth quarter.
So for New England, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.